is how the story goes. We find out about a treasure in the grand line, there's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
Hey guys, King of Charmander's here. Today I bring to you the best Namielle Weapons guide, the water weapon meta. And this video analyzes the new weapons of the new Elder Dragon of Season 6, with the Namielle weapons being water. And one really interesting fact about these, they also introduced the new water super weapon and the first elemental status bowguns for water. So water elemental status bowguns, as in they have elemental ammo, and a super weapon, which is, of course, you probably guessed it if you're doing analysis for a while, been playing the game for a while, is of course the bow, which you should totally consider building. I'm not selling this to you, it is actually really good, and if you really want to, you should go after it. But before that, we have the list of the Namielle weapons, where you have the sword and shield, which is known as the Hydros Discus, the longsword, which is called the Black Tornaria. That's pretty cool. The lance, which is Hydros Ulir, I think I said that right. The charge blade, which is the Hydros Cardia. The gun lance was the Black I am so sorry. That's Spyro, right? You can troll me in the comments if you want to. The switch axe, which is the Black Strobl. I think that's right. Why are these so hard? In addition, you have the bow, which is the Black Panula, the light bowgun, which is the Black Actinula, the heavy bowgun, which is the Hydros Limos, and last but not least, some of your favorites, the ever powerful hunting horn, which is the Hydros Horn. Thankfully, that is simple to say. Why is everything else so hard compared to this one? First, we're going to start off with the Namielle Weapons Forge stats. So, their element is water, of course, with the base raw attack being 425 and the base elemental attack being 276. And it also has positive affinity, with a base of 15% positive. And the Namielle Weapons raw value will be higher than the elemental value, and affinity will upgrade and rise as it goes up. And here, if you want to forge them, here's their requirements. You need 8 Namielle Claws, which are rarity 1, 2 Namielle Tails, which are rarity 5, 4 Elder Dragon Bloods, which are rarity 4, and you need the ever so needed 1 Weapon Refined Parts, which are rarity 3. Along with this, you need 3000 Zenny. But if you want to max them out, here's their stats, and they're pretty dang good. At grade 10.5, the element is water, with its max raw attack being 1591, and their max elemental attack being 1335, with a maximum affinity of 20%. And like I mentioned before, just like the Mizutsune weapons, the Namielle weapons hold positive affinity. They're both at a max of 20, however, their raw value is higher than the water elemental value, which is the opposite from Mizutsune. And if you want to max them out for the cost, they have their own unique rarity 6, as with every Elder Dragon, the Namielle Whisker. In addition, you need 25 weapon refining parts and 420,000 Zenny. Whoever made this, you deserve a reward, because that is a fantastic number. From personal experience, if you are doubling your rarity 6, this can take you about 150 plus Namielle or less if you're lucky, as someone with 3 maxed Elder Dragon weapons. If someone doesn't have a max Elder Dragon weapon and is trying to give you advice about one, you probably shouldn't listen to them, because they have no idea what they're talking about. As in the difficulty and just how strong they are, because from personal use and from looking at other content, yes, they're that good. No, seriously, they are very powerful, but you must break your back and somewhat your bank. Well, hopefully you're not breaking your bank in order to max these weapons out. Next up, here is the data. You need to look at the damage. We're going to look at the damage comparisons for the water monster types. We look at melee, but this is overall for all of them, as the top water monster types of Season 6. I'm not going to go over all of them. There's no point. If you're looking at to build the Namielle weapons, you're probably looking at the best of the best, and you're probably pretty dang good yourself, hopefully. And as we see per the data, Namielle is the strongest overall. About 5% more overall base-wise compared to Mizutsune, which honestly is not a lot. Also, its raw value is higher than the Namielle, is higher for the Namielle weapons, so they can be used against non-water weak monsters if you need to. Probably not if you're looking, again, if you're looking to max these out, you're probably pretty dicked out yourself, so you're just looking for a water option. But again, if you really want to and you're lazy, you can use this for raw monsters, keyword can, if you want to as well. And both Mizutsune and Namielle hold a 20% max affinity. This is what made this kind of if they were going to make a weapon stronger than Mizutsune, you had to have that same affinity, and here you go. But there's also other things Namielle Weapons has to offer, and we're going to take a look at that next. But before we take a look at the offerings, let's look at bowgun damage. Here you see all the top water monster bowgun types as of Season 6. Sadly, Monster Hunter Now.Quest isn't factoring ammo types right now, so we'll look into that later. So the comparison tool isn't factoring in, again, ammo types, etc. So you can't see the differences. It just does it by the base types with reload speed and recoil down 3. So I just did it for light and heavy bowgun. Overall, Namielle will still hold as the strongest, but again, if you've done analysis for a long time and you know analysis and you're pretty dang good at it, you can just look at the ammo types and tell which one's going to do more damage, assuming theoretically it's good play or perfect play. And here's those ammo types right here, at least for the bowgun anyways. So here we take a look at the Namielle ammo sets from the light and heavy bowguns. And we're going to compare them to the Mizutsune as well, as they are the two strongest water monster types in the game. If you're looking at this, to build this, you probably have Mizutsune built and you're like, what's the difference? Well, Namielle Light Bowgun has an elemental status ammo set with paralysis ammo. This is insane. Paralysis, other than poison, as far as stun goes, for its purpose, is the strongest, stun type in the game. Versus, if you had to compare paralysis and sleep, paralysis is the best elemental status. Built into a bowgun. And add it with spread ammo, you can just go bam, 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 bam. As in, spread ammo is the strongest ammo type as far as damage goes. Stun the monster, spread it to death, or spread its legs and its cheeks, and just water it down to death. That sounds really wrong, but yes, that's how you're actually going to do it with this weapon. And you also have the Mizutsune Heavy Bowgun, which is also an elemental status ammo set with sleep ammo, as well as spread ammo as well. However, it's important to note that the Mizutsune ammo sets are more flexible, has safer ranges, and can stun/slice tails. So if you look at the difference, yeah, they're more versatile depending on which one you have. And it's again, if you want safer range and more other things as far as ammo-wise, the Mizutsune bowguns aren't that bad. But if you want elemental status and you're comfortable with spread, those bowguns are pretty... Namielle bowguns are pretty dang good. Moving on, we're going to look at the water monster types as far as bow damage. So we're going to look at the top water monster bow types as of Season 6, which of course is just Namielle and Mizutsune. And sadly, MHN.Quest isn't factoring charged shot types right now, so we're going to look at that later. However, overall, Namielle will still hold as the strongest without taking the super bow factor into the account. Yes, Namielle is a super bow. We're going to take a look at the ammo set in a bit, but even as with all the other analysis, Namielle overall, even though it's only a little bit, is stronger than Mizutsune. And here is the Namielle bow ammo comparisons. And we take a look at the ammo set from the Namielle bow, and as you see right here, we're going to compare the two strongest water monster types again, which is Namielle and Mizutsune. But rejoice for you bow mains and bow enthusiasts. Namielle is a super weapon with rapid level 4 at charge level 3, which is 2 blinks. We have a water super bow, folks, and this makes it much stronger than Mizutsune, and you have to get the charge level 4, which is 3 blinks, for max damage with the Mizutsune bow. However, Namielle bow also has pierce to flex into if monster gets out of rapid range. So usually this is what happens. I believe all of them so far have pierce. So if you charge to full level 4, you're going to go into pierce. So if a monster flies off the screen, that's good examples. Diablos, you can use pierce and charge the extra level, so you don't have to worry about wasting your shot. Rapid is also pretty dang good. It did get a buff with accuracy, speed, and more arrows. So Namielle bow, super bow, I'm going after it. If you're a bow main, you should go after it, and it's going to be the strongest water weapon in the game. Oh wait, there's more. We have the Namielle files and shelling types, and we're going to take a look at the files of the Namielle Charge Blade and the Switch Axe, as well as its Gunlance shelling types. So Namielle Charge Blade has impact files to stun, which is the same as Mizutsune, and the Namielle Switch Axe has power files to boost its raw damage, which is also the same as Mizutsune. The only difference between Mizutsune and Namielle is that Namielle Gunlance has normal shelling, which is good for burst fire, and it's not ideal for charge shelling style. However, Mizutsune does have long shelling, so if you do like charge shelling style, Mizutsune is actually better than Namielle's. And last but not least, we have the Namielle Hunting Horn Melodies comparison. The brand new, latest and exclusive, the musical horn, the musical hammer of death, whatever you want to call it. We're going to take a look at the melody set of the Namielle Hunting Horn and also compare it to Mizutsune's. As you look at here, Namielle's Hunting Horn has an exclusive melody known as All Resistance Up, which assumingly, that means all your elemental resistance will increase against all types. So if you face a monster like, I don't know, like what, that has 2 types, like Namielle does, water and thunder, then you're going to get resisted against both of them. So because it has a defensive factor. However, it's also much more offensive oriented with Affinity Up S and Sonic Wave. Anything with Sonic Wave is an offensive Hunting Horn. These factors make Namielle Hunting Horn the strongest water Hunting Horn in the game when it comes to offense. Mizutsune still comes as defense and support with Evasion Distance Up and Affinity Up, but if you factually want the strongest offensive Hunting Horn in the game and smack and death smack, heavy metal death smack them to death, then you definitely want the Namielle Hunting Horn. And last but not least, we have to take a look at Namielle's weapon skill. It gives Hunter Unity and Weakness Exploit level 1 as equipment skills. Hunter Unity is pretty standard, all Elder Dragon weapons have this, and depending on how many players you have with Hunter's Unity, it increases damage, which isn't that important because you can't bank or control unless you are talking in front of your friends or have friends that have Elder Dragon weapons as well. And although even though Weakness Exploit is only at level 1, anything with built-in crit is amazing. This means with the Namielle weapons at grade 8, you will have 40% affinity just hitting weak spots with the weapon itself. That's just from the weapon, which is absolutely insane. This makes this incredibly powerful, and yeah, with that combination, you definitely want it if you're looking at the water weapon meta. And that brings us overall the analysis of the Namielle weapons. They're the strongest water weapons in the game right now. They are the meta. However, Mizutsune isn't too far behind, so if you already have a Mizutsune weapon built, you don't really need Namielle. It's apples and oranges. It's a little bit stronger. It has some extra flavor, of course, with the icing on it. However, if you don't want to bust your back and your brain and you already have something water built, yeah, you don't really want to go after them. However, the big exception, unless it is the Namielle bow, which is the strongest water weapon in the game right now because it's a super weapon. Everybody knows, no matter how you feel about it or deny it because of your feelings, facts overtake feelings, it is unbeknownst and everyone knows it. Super bows are the strongest weapon. There has to be a meta. There's a meta in every game. And unfortunately for Monster Hunter now, the bow gets the most love, which is actually nice compared to the main series games unless you're speedrunning them. Hopefully this video helps you decide what Namielle weapon you want to build. Here's a note. Elder Dragon weapons are extremely expensive and time consuming. Prepare to grind hardcore and prove your mettle if you want to max any of them. That's why you don't listen to people that don't have them at max or don't have the grind and the motivation or skill to get them to max, because it is really that hard. I would never tell you to build something that factually isn't bad because I do my homework. And yeah, these things aren't bad. They're really good. But again, if you already have the Mizutsune weapons, you probably don't have to worry about them. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Good luck on your summer hunt. May all your Namielle drops be plenty if you are trying to maximum go after, or you may build everything that you need for yourself. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.